Okay. Let
me know when you go to, are we live?
I think we're maybe live.
All righty. Hello, everybody. And welcome to our rainy Monday night chat on meditation.
It's a very typical long weekend in May in Canada. That's for sure.
Yes. Yes. Hello, Lucinda. All right, we're just getting everything kind of set up here, making sure we can see your guys' comments and all of that sort of good jazz. So, all righty, put that like that.
Yes, I'm just getting there too, and I'm gonna have to silence my Facebook in a second.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Hello, Karen, Lucinda, Lori. We are here.
We are.
I have to say, even with the rain last night, my neighbors were doing fireworks.
Yeah, everyone all weekend was doing fireworks around us, and I just kind of loved it because it made everything seem like we were back to a little bit of normalcy, you know?
Right? Yes. I mean, it tends to be much bigger and more often from my neighbors on a weekend where they can do fireworks.
Yeah.
Definitely this year, this particular long weekend, not so much. Just last night from what I've been able to hear so far. And with the wind and the rain tonight, hopefully they're not going to be setting any off tonight, but
yeah,
that could happen as well.
It could.
It could.
It could.
So,
hi, Doris.
Hey, Doris. Haven't seen you forever.
She was on the coffee chat this morning, so. All righty. So we're here to talk to you guys tonight about meditation. And if you guys have any questions about your own meditation experiences, feel free to throw them in the comment section. We want to talk a little bit about what meditation is, what the benefits of meditation are, what our experiences have been in meditation as to what works for us, what doesn't work for us, that sort of thing. And again, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have anything that you'd like to comment on about what we do or like how we do the meditation or whatever, hi Sherry, then by all means, just post it in the comments. And really, we want to help you guys to understand the benefits of meditation because it can be so absolutely powerful when you get yourself kind of into a flow of meditation. So
absolutely.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome, welcome. You know, meditation, you know, when I say that, so many people say, oh, I can't do it. And I always say, yes, you can. You can all do it at some level. And I always say, like, let's lose the word can't completely, because we all can do things to some degree. There's some things we're better at. There's some things that we will be able to learn and grow at easily, and others that will take time. But we have the ability to do it if we choose to.
Yes.
But I don't know about you, but for me, meditation, I was afraid to do meditation. I thought I can't do this. I can't meditate. My head doesn't shut up. Like, it just goes and goes and goes. A lot of people call it the monkey brain, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that was one of my biggest blocks when it came to meditating, was thinking, oh my God, I cannot get my mind to shut up long enough to reach the meditative bliss that everybody is talking about. And then when those thoughts are going and you're like, oh my God, shut up, brain, stop thinking for just a minute, then it's like more thoughts start to come up, and then you're placing these judgments on yourself for not being able to do it. And it really can become quite the rigmarole to stopping yourself from meditating. But really, in my understanding of meditation now, that's exactly what the brain wants you to do, is to get caught up in the thoughts. And meditation is more about observing the thoughts, but not attaching yourself to what those thoughts are, because there's a lot of beauty that actually comes in just witnessing the thoughts as being there, rather than going, now I need to hold on to this and now I need to hold on to that.
Exactly. Well, and I'm going to share with you how I dealt with meditation to begin with. I thought, if I'm going to learn to meditate, maybe if I go to like a group meditation where I'm being led, that will be the way to learn how to meditate. And it is a good way. And so I went the very first time, and it was at the Rock Spa. There used to be a monthly meditation at the Rock Spa, and I went, and I didn't even like. I remember looking at the lady who led it. Her name is Deb, and I said to her at the end, like, why did everybody take their shoes off? Because I didn't understand why people were taking their shoes off to meditate. So that's so they can connect more. And I'm like, and they just feel more grounded. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I thought, oh, I'm leaving my shoes on. Well, my feet got so damn hot that I could barely sit still. The whole thing, for one. But we're sitting in these chairs, and I I'm thinking, okay, just relax and be quiet and breathe. And then I'm like, did you just crack your toes? All these thoughts are going through my head, because you can hear what's going on in the room, right? You just cracked your toes, and like, if you have a cough, what are you doing here? And couldn't you take a cough candy before we started? And how come your water bottle makes so much noise? And why is that damn clock making so much noise? And how the hell is this supposed to be relaxing? And I was like, ah, it was terrible. And I'm thinking, I'll never be able to do this. I'll never be able to do this. And then I thought, well, that was just a waste of time. And then when I went home, I actually slept better than I had in a very long time. And so I thought, well, maybe there's a little more to this than what I thought. So I persisted, and I went back, and the next time there was a few less distractions. And the third time I went, I just took it upon myself to take the damn clock down and set it out in the store. And then somebody who was taller had to put it back up. But I could always reach it to take it down. The Rock Spa must have thought I was crazy. And I would take it and put that clock out in the store and close the door into the room, and we would do the meditation. It would be much easier without that clock ticking, because you don't even realize how loud that clock's ticking when you're just in the room talking. It was, anyways, I persisted, and now, like, I just I crave meditation now. But it took me a while. I wasn't able to do it first time, and I think that people really need to not think that it's going to happen, or it needs to happen first go around, right?
Well, exactly. And I mean, I've been meditating, I'm going to say almost daily. I've been meditating a lot less during this pandemic, just because the kids are at home a lot more. But even in meditating almost daily for 2 years, what I've noticed is there's days where I can jump right into meditative bliss almost immediately, like 10 minutes into the meditation, and I'm there and I can feel it, and the vibes and the peace and all of that. It's all great. And there's other days where I can sit there for an hour and nothing is achieved. And I'm so annoyed. And that's all also perfect for what I'm needing in that moment, because I need to feel that in my body and just release that in my body. So it really comes down to a place of non-judgment for yourself for whatever it is that's coming up, because so often in our living lives, we are so freaking busy that we don't even pay attention to what it is our bodies are trying to show us or tell us. And that's where the meditation actually gives us that chance to just kind of connect with the body and see what is it that the body or the brain or the mind or the thoughts or the heart or whatever are trying to bring up inside of you.
Exactly. And don't you notice that, like, when you go through the process, this is, I mean, for me, when I go through a process of a meditation, one of the first things I do is I look to relax all the muscles. So you're letting the tension go from your shoulders and your neck and down your back. And if you visualize that, like, even the thought of the process of going through that and sitting for 5 minutes in quiet can really change your whole physical well-being. And I think that that's an important part to meditation that maybe people don't even understand. how it can give you great health benefits to helping you reduce the stress you carry in your body, because that's a big reason why a lot of people meditate.
Absolutely. And it's so scientifically, it's said to lower blood pressure, to reduce the stress overall. It helps with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, that sort of thing. It can help increase the blood flow throughout the body. It lowers the heart rate. It does a lot of really, really good things. For myself, instead of relaxing each part of the body, Janice, I actually will kind of do like a tune in with my body to see where in my body am I uncomfortable. And then I'm asking, what is the uncomfortability about? And kind of going into what that pain is and helping myself by examining that pain in my mind when I'm going into the meditation. That's what I do. And sometimes it's simply like adjust your leg because it's in an uncomfortable position. That's what you need to do. But again, it's about listening to the body and what is the body telling me that it needs versus what do I think my body needs.
True enough. True enough. I think, if you're just learning, I think the going through the steps maybe is a good way for you to start becoming more in tune with what your body's feeling. And I think an important part of it is the focus on your breathing that you get as well, because we do really focus on our breathing when we're meditating. And I don't mean obsessively, but it does become a key point, right?
Absolutely. Because sometimes, even when I'm not meditating, but just simply doing a deep breath, like it helps to recenter the body. And Christine Ball, she's an excellent person to talk to about breath work. But for myself, it helps me to recenter with where I am in that moment, especially if things around me are feeling kind of chaotic or whatever. I take those breaths. And then sometimes John will actually be like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm just
recentering myself and reconnecting with the body.
And one of the things that I learned from Christine was the idea that you breathe in and out through your nose, and that calms your body. So if you're having any kind of anxiety, you tend to be breathing through your mouth. And so if you stop and breathe in through your nose and out through your nose and take the breath from your mouth out, then it becomes a calming breath as opposed to an anxiety breath.
Interesting. I literally just did that as you were talking about that. And it totally is more calming than what it is to blow out through your mouth. So yeah. Thank you. I've learned something from our Facebook Live.
Yeah. So Chris, and I don't know if she won't mind if I tell, but Chris actually, if she finds herself not following what she preaches, she will actually use a tape on her mouth to remind her not to breathe through her mouth, but to just nose breathe in and out, because it is very calming. So yeah, absolutely. If you're feeling really anxious about something, if you just stop and do that breathing in and out through your nose, huge difference. I think she said it has something to do with when you're in a fight or flight mode and you're anxious, you breathe through your mouth, right? And that gives sort of the signal that you have anxiety or you need to be on guard. So
interesting.
Oh, see, Lucinda also uses the tape at night, that's really cool.
Awesome.
So
yes, Lucinda, a lot of people will fall asleep when they're meditating. And typically it just means your body's needing sleep. And a lot of people judge it because they think that they're supposed to be, mindful and they're supposed to be aware, but your body's going to do exactly what your body needs to do. So if your body's falling asleep, that's perfect. That's exactly what your body's needing. And Danielle, thank you.
So Donna, so you've also done that breathing technique. And I think that's, more people that know about that, the better, I think, because I think we tend to live in a very stressful time. And I'm really glad that we're able to, have something as easy as the way we breathe as a way to help us just get through a moment even.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Because if you think of any time that you're feeling panicked, any time that you're feeling angry, any time that you're feeling stressed, you feel it in your chest. And it's typically because we stop breathing deeply. Our breath becomes more labored. It becomes more up here. And maybe we should have Chris on for a conversation about breathing. Because this is where we're going right now. But it's so helpful when you're taking those more deep and more aware breaths. Especially during the meditation or just in your daily life when you're feeling yourself getting a bit agitated or whatever, to help bring in that peaceful calm for yourself.
Exactly. And
Lucinda,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lucinda's saying that breathing through the mouth sends a signal to the brain that our bodies are in stress. So
that's what I was trying to say, but couldn't quite get the words.
That's because I was interrupting you.
It's different when we're not sitting beside each other, so I think we do pretty good, but
yes,
it's still a little bit different. It's different than when we would be beside each other and we could look at each other and go, what? But so I mean, definitely there's health benefits to meditation. And I think that's sort of where I started on my journey with meditation. But then it became much more than that for me eventually. And it wasn't like after a couple of times. It was with practice, and started getting into a deeper awareness of my physical body, of what I was wanting to do with my life. It's where I met my spirit guides, where I go and have conversation with my spirit guides, is all done in meditation. So I think that there's so much that we can do with meditation other than just sitting and homing, right?
Absolutely. Some of my most, I don't want to label them as like the greatest meditation experiences, but they were the most profound, even though each one is absolutely profound, have helped me to experience and explore traumas that I had gone through when I was a child and bring them up to the surface and help identify emotions that I was still stuck in, that I wasn't even aware that I was still stuck in, but gave them a space to be able to come out and to be seen and to be heard and to be loved. And really just bringing this new sense of freedom based on what my own experiences have been that I had stuffed down for so long because of what the childhood experience had been or whatever. And it was absolutely profound moving from this side of it before the meditation and thinking, I don't know why I'm doing this meditation in the first place or whatever. And then you go deep and you come out on the other side and it's like, oh my God. And you do become addicted to it in a good way, where it's like, I want to do this all day, every day, all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know that I'd want to do it all day, every day, but there are times where I spend several hours for sure doing meditation. And I've had some very profound meditations, and I've had meditations where I've come out of them feeling euphoric, and I've had meditations where I've come out of them feeling absolutely emotionally drained. And I mean, it's all different. And sometimes I come out with clarity, and I mean, part of it is, what you go into meditation with intention, and where that then takes you, and I think that if you're learning about meditation or looking to further your meditation experience, having somebody lead you through meditation certainly is a good way to do it. I think that sometimes we're not really sure about how we should go and how deep can. I think that if you've got somebody leading you through meditation, you could go deeper because you don't have to fear that you won't come back out. Not that I've ever really felt that, but I think that there's a part of you that might be a little bit hesitant about being fully engaged in a meditation. If somebody's leading you though, and that they'll bring you back, you might be a little more inclined to go deeper.
Yeah. So Jocelyn is saying, are there any suggestions on where to start? Are guided meditations a good place to start? So I think a lot of people actually start with the guided meditations, and there's so many that are on YouTube. So it can help you to actually see what kind of voice do you want to listen to? What kind of music background do you want to listen to? What kind of things do you want to explore? Are you wanting to connect with a spirit guide? Are you wanting to connect with ancestors? Are you wanting to do like a chakra cleanse or a chakra alignment, or do you want to listen to the 528 hertz, or do you want to listen to the love hertz? Or there's so many different ones that are on there, which can help you to see kind of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I've had some really awesome meditations going into the guided meditation, especially if I'm looking for a specific result. But for myself, sitting in silence has actually been more profound. And I was doing the guided meditations for, I don't know, I guess 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And not regularly, but just doing guided meditations whenever I felt prompted to. And they were good, but they didn't help me to have the profound experiences that I've had in doing silent meditations. Now, that doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that it was different for me. So if you're a newbie, yeah, try a guided meditation. Learn how to quiet your mind long enough to be able to follow that guided meditation.
And honestly, if it really isn't resonating with you, stop it and find something else.
Yes, because there's some bad ones out there.
There are.
We listen to guided meditations every night when we're going to bed. It's our thing that we do. And we've now got a list on Spotify, but way back in the day when you bought CDs, because that was the best way to have access to anything, we got a meditation CD that was about healing karmic issues from past lives. And I was like, oh, let's do it. Well, my God, Janice, it was horrible. They're like, if you have ever been beheaded, decapitated, stabbed in the back, stabbed in the throat. I'm like, I'm supposed to be going to sleep with this? And you're just getting all of these really bad images in your mind. Needless to say, we stopped that one and went back to our old one because it just wasn't very relaxing. It was probably 50 different various deaths that we could have experienced in the first 5 minutes. And it just went on and on and on for 40.
Oh, I don't understand why you couldn't go to sleep with that. I mean,
yeah, well, we started laughing. That was our response to that. And probably because it is very uncomfortable to, think about those things. You don't want to think about those things, especially when you're going to sleep. So yeah, it was a very funny, amusing experience for us anyways.
And I've turned some off because of the tone of the voice.
Yeah.
Or the people that rush through the meditation.
Yeah.
Like they take you to a place and then they're taking you to another place right away. And I'm like, just let me stay here for a minute. Right? I just need to stay here for a minute. And sometimes you don't get enough time. They don't slow it down enough for me. So I have like stopped and said, I'm not doing that music, or I'm not doing that person again.
Yep.
And that's okay. I mean, you got to kind of figure out what works for you.
And honor what works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then get off. It doesn't matter.
There's very, very little, there's very little chance that if I'm the only one in the room, that there's going to be a guided meditation. I do guided in a group. I lead guided meditations. And that, I think that in a group, that's a good thing. But when it's just you, you got to figure out what it works just for you, right? Whether that's just music or if it's silence. Or some days it'll just be silence, and some days you'll just want some kind of music in the background. I've been to singing bowl meditations where they're, 9 out of 10 of the bowls or other instruments that they have are just beautiful. And there's one that just makes me want to scream. And usually that one is the one that you really need to connect to because there's something.
I was going to say that, but
yeah, I mean, that's the one that you really need to pay attention to, but those are really kind of cool too. I think that, just being open and going and trying other types and the way other people lead meditation too is also an interesting way of doing it. I've been to some where it's just been absolutely fun. You know, we've passed energy in a circle, and the whole room, everybody in the room was swaying in their chairs because we were passing this energy. It's amazingly fun. And then there's others that take you into, the deepest, darkest emotions, and you're all just in tears at the end. Or then there's all these joyous and happy, and it's meditation is quite extensively unique to everybody, right?
Absolutely. And when I did the meditation retreat last year, just talking about the emotion stuff coming up, they had a surprise speaker come in and lead us through a 1 hour meditation. And she connected us with our inner child and then said all of these phrases of the inner child. And the phrases were like, I don't know what's happening next. I'm so scared right now. And so your mind is actually connecting you with these places and these experiences that you've had when you were a child. And the entire room was filled with sobbing and people screaming out. And like, if anyone was to be walking by at that point in time, they were probably thinking like, what in the world is happening in there? But I don't know that I've ever cried that hard before in my life. And at first it was because I was hearing everyone else's pain and I was experiencing their pain. And at first I was like, oh, because I'm an empath, I'm feeling all of their pain. And then in the meditation, it was like something snapped in my mind and said, this is your pain too. Use the way they're expressing their pain as a way for you to express your pain. Because part of me was going, you're not going to wail out. You're not going to, that wasn't what I wanted to do. But other people were openly doing that. So then I was actually, when they were doing it, it was like connecting in with what they were releasing and then releasing that for myself as well. It was so absolutely incredibly powerful.
And that's the beauty of meditation, right?
It absolutely
it really is. And then you go through an experience like that and you release all this emotion and then you just feel light.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
or
let's just smoke for a while.
One or the other. You feel light or hungover.
Maybe a little of both.
Yeah.
So,
and then sometimes too in meditation, some of my greatest ideas have come in meditation. And not when I go in saying I need an idea for, but it's something that I've been thinking about prior to meditation, or I was talking to someone else about, and then in meditation 3, 4, 5 days later, a couple weeks later, then all of a sudden there's a thought that comes in that's like, oh my God, that's the perfect answer to what it was that I was looking for. So it can be a great problem solver for people as well.
Well, I think that's true, because what we do is we take down all the walls, right? And we get rid of all of the that can't happen, that can't happen, that can happen, and we shut out all of the voices of the people outside of us, and we listen to ourselves. So,
yes,
that's what happens. So, I think that it's it's something that people have to realize, that it's okay that you don't do it like everybody else. It's okay that you don't have the same experience. It's okay that you're new. It's okay that you've been doing it a long time and maybe you never really truly experienced any of these things like we have, or maybe you were immediately able to do it and you're quite easily able to sit and meditate on your own. It doesn't matter what stage you're at, but if you're willing to do it, it changes your life. That's what I would say about meditation.
I would agree. Doris, yes, I am doing meditations with the Peel Aboriginal Network every Fridays from 10 till 11 a.m. They are guided meditations and there's no cost to that. And that goes till the end of June. There's a new Zoom link being sent out this week for that. And then Janice and I are also doing the Illuminate meditation event. And that's going to be taking place on Zoom on June the 14th.
Yes.
from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. So it's 6 full hours of meditation. Well, there will be conversation in between the meditation.
It's
Well,
not
you
a
don't
6 hour long
have to sit for
meditation.
6 hours and not pee. Um,
Let's not scare people away.
yes. So we will be talking for about 30 minutes, and then we'll be doing meditation, and then we'll come back and conversate about what came up and where we went and that sort of thing, and then going back into meditation. So you're bound to get about, I'm going to say 3.5 to 4 hours of meditation that day alone. So if you're a newbie or if you're an expert with it, either way, we do welcome you guys to join us for that, because it's going to be an incredible event.
It is, and I think that, you know, it's I don't want people to be afraid of the fact that it could be 3 or 4 hours of meditating over the 6 hours that we have scheduled for this. I think that it's really important to understand that we're going to be having discussion, and we're going to be, you know, helping through any struggles they're having with the meditation. But it's also about we're hoping to help you connect to your heart in a way that maybe helps you get some clarity in your life, or helps you understand what you've been going through, or what you need to maybe shift your focus to, whatever it's going to work out to be for you. But it really is
or
about
just to find peace in your life in
yes.
this moment, that there's nothing else you need to do, but it's just about feeling that peace in the moment.
Yes.
So Doris is thinking, I think I do my meditation while I am floating in my pool in the summer, but want to learn that right way to do it.
Okay,
So,
first of all, there is no right way.
Yeah.
And meditating in the pool is fine as long as you put on sunscreen beforehand, because I find sometimes I totally lose track of how much time I've been in meditation. Yeah. The meditation, we're calling it a 1-day meditation retreat. That's going to be online June 14th.
June 14th.
June 14th. And I mean, we're charging $49 for the day.
Yes.
However,
but we do have a special coupon.
Have a surprise
For everybody that's on here. I'm just going to type this up. So if you guys go to our website at fireflymediums.com and enter in coupon code at checkout for the Illuminate event, and you put in meditate, all in capital letters, you will get 49% off on that retreat. So it works out to be $25.01 for that retreat. So yeah, if you guys are interested, then by all means use the coupon code and hop on to the retreat with us, because we would so love to have you guys here and to just go on that journey. And 3 or 4 hours, it might sound like it is a really long time to be in meditation. I did a 6-day meditation where we meditated about 5 hours out of 7 hours every day. And if I could go back to that retreat at any given time, I would like to retire at that retreat. I would like to live every day at that retreat, because it was the most self-care that I've ever done for myself in my life. And I've never, I went into the retreat with my shoulders being down and dragged, and my energy felt heavy. And I came out of it just feeling like a butterfly, really. So
and here's the thing, we're gonna, everybody will be muted during the meditation except for us, so you don't have to worry about whether, if you fall asleep, what if I fall asleep and I start to snore, we don't have to, nobody's going to hear you, and if we turn microphones back on and we hear you snoring, we'll turn you back off. And honestly, if you're concerned about being on camera, you don't have to be on camera. You can leave the video camera off for the entire day if you want, but we won't know if you wanted to ask a question. Saying,
actually, there is the chat option on Zoom too, so you don't need to
that is true.
have the camera on.
So I mean, don't be intimidated by the fact that it's on Zoom. Camera on, camera off. Turn it on if you want. Turn it off. We will take a break at lunchtime. You know, and if you need to go to the bathroom, you turn your camera off and you go to the bathroom and you come back and
don't pull one of those Zooms where you take the camera into the bathroom with you and forget you're on camera.
No. Okay. I'm just going to share this because I saw it the other day and I laughed so hard. This
Okay.
woman is on camera. She's doing this video and she's posting it. And she said, I'm totally confessing because I don't know what to do. She said, I got my kids all set up with their homeschooling and I got them all on their computers. And then I went and jumped in the shower. And I came out of the shower into my bedroom to get dressed, completely naked. And I hear this, oh, I think maybe we're in trouble. And I turn and look, and my daughter is sitting on my bed with her laptop on the pillow, facing into my room. And I'm completely naked in front of her entire class. And she says, I don't know whether I need to now send out notes to all the parents or just pretend like it didn't happen. She was laughing so hard. Anyways, sorry, that just something that came to my mind. I thought I should share it. Poor woman.
Awesome.
You saw that one, Doris? It was good. She was so good. Just like, what do I
do? I love it.
We're all zooming now. We're all zooming.
Yes.
So, does anybody have any questions about meditation? Anything they're struggling with? Any questions about the retreat? We're open to questions.
Yes. And just to fill in more space as people start to comment and stuff, when you said to Doris about making sure she puts on sunscreen. So my grandfather, when my mom was a child, they went to the beach and he fell asleep with his arms up above his head like this. And he had sunscreen on, but he didn't think of putting sunscreen on his armpit. Oh. So for a week, he had to walk around like this because his armpits were so burnt. So anytime someone's like, remember your sunscreen, I always go back to that memory. Ouch. Yes, I think it's quite amusing.
That would be awful.
Right?
Right? Right. So, how many people are actually meditating at least once a week? Can we get a count? Have a yes? I just be interested to see if anybody who's on here is actually doing meditation on some kind of basis. Nobody? Okay, how about a yes or a no? Put a yes or a no. Hate to tell you, but I've never wear sunscreen. Oh no. Lori, you should be.
So Lori, can I ask, what stops you from meditating? What is it that brings up that hesitation for you?
Yeah, that's, if you feel like you should, what's keeping you from doing it?
Danielle's saying, I try. So Danielle, is that a judgment on yourself as to not doing it, or is it just like things get in the way? And Nicola uses a guided meditation app. Awesome. Not too sure where to start.
Ah. Well, you can always ask us about it.
Well, she's right here right now, so we can just tell her right now.
I know. You can start by coming and doing our day-long meditation. Just even if you pick 5 minutes before you get out of bed in the morning or before you go to sleep at night, and just start by taking 5 minutes to just focus on breathing, on listening to your breath. And that's a good way to start, if you ask me.
Yeah. And a lot of people will think, I don't have 30 minutes to sit and do a meditation, or I don't have an hour to sit and do a meditation. Then do 5 or do 3 or do 1 or whatever the case might be, like whatever works for you. Danielle, I see that for you, it's a lack of time between work and single parenting. Totally get that. But again, it's take the 2 minutes. Another way that I've actually incorporated, well, it's not working so much right now because of the pandemic, but meditation for myself on days where I don't have a chance to wake up early and get that hour of meditation in prior to the kids getting up or whatever, is actually driving in silence. And I used to like blast the music and sing along with the music and really just be involved with the music. But when I started having to travel further and further, I started turning the music off and just listening to my thoughts. And I call it a driving meditation. I'm still fully aware of what's happening around me, but I'm also fully aware of what's happening in my mind and where my thoughts are leaving. And some of those are really profound as well.
Yes.
So it's really about incorporating it into your day in a way that works for you and what your schedule is. Because especially when you are working a lot, or when you do have kids that might be smaller, so they don't really understand mom's meditating, so be quiet. It's important to find some way to make it work for you. Now, I do have a 7-year-old that he talks a ton. And so for me to say to him, shh, mom's meditating, be quiet. He often forgets about 2 minutes later that, oh, right, mom was meditating, so I should be quiet now. But if I say to him, let's meditate together, it's usually only about 2 minutes, but at least it gives me 2 minutes of just calming, and it gives him 2 minutes of calming as well.
Yes, I was going to say, Danielle, you should be meditating with Lexi. Lexi? It's Lexi. You should be meditating with her, and because, well, I think that she'd be really good at it. But I think that we assume that our kids aren't going to be able to do it, and I found that kids are very eager if you approach it. Not that they are. It can't be like a punishment. It needs to be. It is Lexi, right? Yeah.
Alexa, yes.
Alexa. Okay, I was close. I think one of the things that I did when I was teaching meditation for kids, and I keep saying I'm going to get back to this, and I really just need to make it happen, is I would give them a crystal, and I would say to them, if there's something that you feel like you need to say before we get to the end of the meditation, whisper it into your stone, and the stone will remember it, so that when we get to the end, you can remember what you wanted to say. And it's surprising how many of them actually did that.
Well, I'm thinking that's a great idea for adults too.
Right?
Because sometimes when you're doing it, you're like, oh, I got to do, and I've got to do, and I've got to do. But to have a memory crystal to remember all that for you, that would be awesome.
I also do the driving meditation and turn the radio off and just allow yourself to have the freedom of thought, away from all of the crap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope that we've given you some insight into meditation and given you some ideas of some things you can do, and piqued your interest in meditation. And hopefully we'll see a few of you at the meditation retreat. I think it's going to be an excellent day, and hopefully we can share the day with you. And I didn't understand the value of meditation until I really gave it a good shot, I want to say, and didn't give up after the first time or two, because I sort of recognized that I wasn't going to fully understand it. And I don't know if I fully understand it yet, but I certainly have a better understanding of it now. And I certainly crave it. If I get to a point in the day where I can't seem to get myself through a situation, I can't figure out something that's not sitting right with me, or I just feel really tired or stressed, I think, you know what, I just need to go and sit in quiet for a while, and I'll do that. And sometimes 20 minutes is all I need, and other times it's an hour and a half, and it is what it is. So I think that it's important for people to understand that there's no right way, that what we're going to do is help guide you through the process, and hopefully give you some insight into what it's like to be a meditator. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Okay. All right. So last call for questions. And then we'll let everybody get on with their evening, I guess. That's the thing, is just understand it. Well, I think that we don't have to understand it completely right away. Or if I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if that's even a possibility to understand it. I just enjoy it.
Yes. Yes.
So.
All righty, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. And again, if you're wanting to join us for the Illuminate online meditation event happening June 14th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., you can head on over to www.fireflymediums.com. At checkout, enter the code all caps meditate, and you will receive 49% off, because Janice and I are obsessed with the number 49 right now.
We are.
And
we set the price at 49, and then I'm like, if anybody who comes on to the live should get a bonus. So we decided together that we would offer this discount to anybody who came on the live. So, and if you had a friend you wanted to share it with, we wouldn't be upset.
Yes, exactly. All right, everyone.
All right.
Have an awesome night.
All right.
Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, everyone.